Hey, you to Rexity and Paul.
I'm Rose.
I'm Nikki.
And it's Ratcast Podcast, episode
8.
8 of season 4.
3.
3. I lose track every week.
Yes.
So this week we actually just saw another movie.
Yay!
We watched Spirited Away. It was very obvious it's going to win. And dude, very good movie.
Amazing.
It was awesome.
I was talking to Rose about this earlier today, where like I was having an aftertaste of the movie today, like all morning, and it's just all pleasant.
Yes.
Like every memory, I was like, oh, that was nice when that happened. Oh, that was cool. Oh, that was so artistic. Oh, like every memory of every little thing. Usually, like when I have a show come back to me, it's all the bad parts.
Yeah.
But in this show, I feel like even the tense parts, it was pleasant, like being chased by weird things, like it was cool. I wasn't like feeling pain and sorrow constantly or ever.
It's very impressive, very impressive.
Yes.
I think we were all just gushing about it in the review after we saw the show.
Yeah.
It's also like we were comparing it to Disney. It's funny enough, it was Disney Japan that helped make it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the Disney shows are heavily inspired by things that came before, or straight up just ripped stories, right? But this, I couldn't think of any context to apply to this show. So I'm wondering if you're like a Japanese viewer, are there a lot of things you can see in this that are from not necessarily media, but other stories that you know from folklore or anything like that?
Yeah.
Because when I'm seeing it, I'm just seeing every single thing here is new, but
new.
feels like it's ancient.
Yes.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I did think of, the same thing you're saying, where it feels like I found myself keep on asking, especially with this creature,
No face.
No face.
Yeah.
I kept asking myself, I wonder if there's like, this is from Japanese lore, or did the writer just like, I really want to make a bunch of random weird characters and I'm gonna put them all in one movie, you know? Because I was just talking just before we started before we hit record. This character, I feel like I've seen this look of a character in the No Face in other movies.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, did Ghibli get it from there? But no, this is older. Most likely everybody got it from Ghibli.
Yeah.
Probably. I was saying the same thing where I thought I could see like the Undertale character in the main character Chihiro here.
Yeah, with her one stripe across her.
I looked up the Undertale character afterwards. I'm like, oh, her shirt has way more stripes on it, but I still see the resemblance somehow. So I don't know if it was an inspiration, but I feel like it kind of was.
Yeah.
I don't know. The little girl, new world, monsters everywhere. Got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got a couple of fun facts from this show. So one is Miyazaki considered retiring after doing Princess Mononoke. That's probably his big breakout movie. I don't think anyone's ever seen it.
No.
Yeah, very big movie. But he was inspired to make this film after seeing his friend's sullen 10-year-old daughter.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Oh.
He just sees a sad-looking girl like, inspiration. Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Big screens everywhere. I've changed the world. That's impressive.
Maybe he saw her after they moved.
Yeah, maybe they just moved. Maybe that's because that's how she starts. She's just sad and hates the life.
Yeah.
You know, gets thrust into another world.
And I actually took a second one because I thought it was funny. To do Chihiro's mother's voice while she was eating at the banquet table, the actress spoke the dialogue while eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. The English dub replicated this by having the actress eat an apple while speaking.
Oh,
Wow.
That's hilarious.
That's really funny. That's so sad that she didn't get fried chicken.
I was gonna say, but I was gonna also say, isn't it a thing that Japanese love Kentucky Fried Chicken? Because like even like Christmas is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Is it not Japanese or Chinese?
I'm thinking of Korea. Korea is fried chicken and beer.
For Christmas.
Is it Christmas?
I think
food
Christmas
that
is
they like?
Japan as well.
I feel like it was a Japanese thing too.
KFC ran one of the most successful and impressive advertising campaigns ever seen in history in Asia. Yeah, very impressive. It's crazy how their native stuff in the United States has kind of got a reputation for falling off and not being very good, overly expensive, wide range of quality, just in general being unappetizing. Whereas in Asia, it's still high class dining.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's just I'm like, they got like the best food for this Japanese. Like, you want some food to eat? Where can we get it? KFC.
Yes. We can use the business card.
Doing a bang up job over there.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
One day we gotta order some, just see what it's like.
From Japan.
From Japan, have them send over the fried chicken.
Call them up. Yeah.
So we saw that movie, and that is the third movie now. So Your Name, still working on that. I wanted to fix that up a little bit before that went public, because I wasn't too happy with the final edits, but in general, we are getting used to the idea of sending off the movies to the editors, and I'm more than willing to trim it up or fix it up once it gets back to us. It's just at the time, there wasn't a lot of time between us getting it and
Yeah.
needing to release it.
Yeah.
So this coming like Thursday or Friday, our time, I should be able to fix it up.
Yeah. And this movie that we watched at a good time, it's like early in the month, so we have a lot more time to like fix it up before it has to release to Patreon. Thankfully.
Yes. So speaking of shows, though, another show is coming relatively soon. Maybe not this year like all the other ones that blasted out of nowhere, but we got a teaser for the next season of Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's great because we ended in a pretty intense place.
Yes.
About to deal with Shishio, I think.
Shishio, yeah. I think we even made it to his place at the end. It was all dark scenes of showing people faces, and then they showed Shishio's face at the end.
I'm looking forward to it. People kept hyping up how crazy things are going to get once he gets to Kyoto, but I was enjoying the show leading up to it. It felt like a Saturday morning cartoon, but a little bit better kind of thing. I do like that feel.
Yeah.
All the animes that we've been seeing recently fill a different niche that I've been enjoying.
Yeah. Same.
So, I mean, yeah, we've got that on its way, but next month, as we talked about before, we've got My Hero Academia that's coming back, and what's the other one? There's 2 coming back next month.
Not just Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Demon
Slayer is May 4th, I want to say.
Oh, cool.
Very soon.
Oh, and also we just started
Go
just
Ranger.
out of nowhere. Because I know you brought it up at one point, and then when we were talking about the new shows last time, I don't remember us talking about Go Loser Ranger. Maybe we did, but I didn't expect it to be like this Sunday, you know. But you mentioned that this is gonna be a legit, for real, no cap, test show.
Yes. Yeah. So we just passed 1,000 views on the first video, 1.1K, which, while that is good, and we do
after a
appreciate
couple
it,
days.
it's after a few days, and also usually when you get into the swing of things, say like episode 4 or 5 of
That's
the show,
when you see the real.
usually half the views or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, that's not bad or anything, but if we're gonna give the Sunday slot, which we've got these other shows, Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia coming back for the Sunday slots. Do we really want to put that there and have it compete for views with that show? You know, just simple economics.
Economics, man.
Yeah. So what the plan will be is to watch it and release it later in the week, or watch it and then watch it earlier but release it later in the week. Either way, you're gonna get it later.
Yeah.
It won't be on the same day release. The better shows will win.
More than likely to the point of guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, okay?
Yeah. I mean, there's no way Go-Go Loser... you know what? Who knows? I was gonna say there's no way Go-Go Loser Ranger would, like, rise to the level of, like, My Hero and Demon Slayer. Because they've been here well, number one. And they've proven themselves from episode 1.
Yes.
Go-Go Loser Ranger started out okay. I won't say it's as strong as those two.
Yeah. Not as strong.
No. It is new, and I can see potential in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see it like episode 8. Things get crazy, you know?
True.
But also, it's not a strong hook yet. It needs to have a strong hook if it's going to get in a wider audience. It got a lot of views on the trailer on Crunchyroll on YouTube, so I do have hope that as it goes on, it might pick up steam a little bit. But yeah, once other shows come around, Demon Slayer always does well on the channel, always. And My Hero Academia fluctuates, but it does better than pretty much anything else when it wants to, you know.
When it wants to. When it decides, you know.
But also My Hero, I hear, is like just is still ramping up.
Yes, we had a comment about that where people were saying if you thought last season was crazy, it's still going to get even crazier, which I can hardly believe.
I cannot imagine, because last season just blew us out of the water every episode.
We had Dead Inside Deku last season and everything.
Yeah, I loved it. People were saying like there's going to be a lot of deaths and stuff, and there was a few people. No, I meant in the previous season.
Oh.
A lot of people did get injured, but I wanted more death. Yeah. Honestly, I know it's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, the dystopian world that we're now.
Like the level of threat that we had, we should have had worse. Like we got just serious injury to major people.
Midnight died. Yeah.
Midnight.
Hey,
Oh, Midnight. Yeah. No, Night Eye died. I thought she was saying Night Eye too. It's like, wait, he died like seasons ago.
Yeah.
Midnight. That was probably the most major. I think there was somebody else, but they weren't as major as Midnight.
There was the cowboy or Mr. Magic or something like that.
Oh, the bad guy side disappearing?
Oh, that guy too. There was another magic guy on our side. While they were fighting Gigo Tomaki, that guy. But yeah, I expected a little bit more like shotgun across the board losing people. You know, like some here, some there. We just hear about people that we kind of knew dying during the fight or something like that. But yeah, just
It felt like they trimmed the fat of a lot of side characters that they tried to make more important right before killing them. Because Midnight, she was important, don't get me wrong, but her being the most important person to pass, I feel like is a bit of a letdown.
yeah.
She wasn't really. She was important in season 1, but she wasn't like a mainstay cast member.
Yeah, and she wasn't even like, I didn't feel her as like that close to the kids. Like I know Grapehead liked her just because he's
He's
him.
grape.
Yeah, you know, but even like her death was kind of like she died. No, she's really dead.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. It didn't hit me until like even after the season ended. It was like, oh yeah, she. Like that's why I didn't even remember her.
Yeah.
And I excuse that because I thought they were doing that on purpose to be like, there's people who are just going to die
And
as
we
things
can't.
go on.
Yeah.
And
Can't
there's going to be a
give
lot
them
of people like, just in Sector 5, 4 people got killed. One of them was Gunhead or something, you know?
Yeah.
And just move on. So, wait, he died too? Okay, we're in war. You know?
Yeah.
But someone that I feel like could have had a lot of impact if they passed was the old man, Jet.
Oh yeah. Tarantino.
Yeah.
Toronto.
I feel like he
Yes.
should have died, honestly.
I kind of feel like it. I
I would have let a lot more weight.
Deku
The
starts
scarf.
carries around the scarf and
Yeah,
Yeah.
as if he's already dead.
Yeah.
He's in the hospital.
It's because he's probably retired
cool.
now.
Yeah.
he
He's
should have been
He should
retired.
have been retired.
Yeah.
To be honest.
True, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
So now he is.
Yeah, but it's just like things like that. I feel like, yeah, the scarf thing would have. This is now a core part of his character, and don't get me wrong, getting injured is a big deal. But if we're talking anime, right, and we've already had a few people die already, what is he going to add to the story if we bring him back in? Gran Torino, right? Stuff like that. I ask for characters all the time. If you're going to make them nearly die, if they survive, they have to do something very meaningful and emotional for the story to be like, we're very happy this character survived. You can't just fake them out just for the sake of.
Like removing them from the story, basically.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of thing. It's just a personal preference. I know some people it worked for. But another show that did the whole war thing very well that we saw recently was Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people compared the two, and I think very rightfully so. Jujutsu Kaisen brought up a lot of characters. A lot of side characters died. A lot of people in general died.
And a lot of
got
major injuries
Yeah.
that they
Major injuries.
just barely gave us a glimpse of.
Unamaki lost his arms, apparently.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're talking about?
We were, you know,
I like it
not
whenever we're in
spoiling.
non-spoiler territory. He's
No,
just
let me
like
just say
throw it all out
We're
there.
spoiling My Hero Academia.
Yeah, we were already down that road.
It is funny though. This is like the third time this has happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were like hinting towards what's his name? Clap losing his Boogie Woogie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot
That's
about
what
that
I was
one.
talking about.
No, I was talking about Inumaki. That's a major, but his is
I
major
remember who
too.
Inumaki is. Oh,
Voice.
yes.
Voice. That's that's what Yuta's upset about.
In general, watch out for spoilers when we bring up old shows, by the way.
Just put a spoiler tag on the video.
Yeah.
But then also we got like Nanami died.
Yeah.
Huge
Oh
character.
my
That was
gosh.
big.
Huge character.
Yeah.
He's a trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we like everybody instantly endeared to this guy who just wants to stop working. Like that's all. He stopped working and then he's like, the work is calling out to me. And then he goes back and he's just like, just 9 to 5. Just 9 to 5. We can all empathize with the guy who keeps his timetable. You know what I mean?
Female lead, Nobara dead.
Yeah.
I'm still not believing it until I
Same.
see the body.
They got
Maki
Pulse.
died.
See the more.
Maki's grandfather died.
Maki's not died. Dead.
So she
Zenin
came
guy, I
back to
don't
die
care.
again.
Yeah, Toji. Yeah.
Man.
Megumi definitely injured. And see stuff like that. Megumi having a close call with death, that's impactful to the story because a lot of things
He's-
happen to him.
Yeah, and you can see his potential of like being instrumental in helping Itadori like
Yeah.
mentally survive this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
stuff like that.
he's all that's left now of the the
Yeah.
trio.
all the stuff of anyone he knows.
Yeah.
Everyone's either injured, out for commission permanently, or dead. You know.
Or
Panda's okay.
Yeah, he's cool.
yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Whose side is
Psychopath.
he on though? Because he was not ostracized, and Yuta is executioner.
Right.
So Panda has to kind of go along with the protocol here.
I'm thinking that maybe it's like Panda is like, I don't think Yuji was the bad guy, but I did see him flying across the sky, so I'm not entirely sure what to do, but I still want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I can't just outright defend him because I saw him flying across the sky. You know what I mean?
And what's his name? The guy who was really scared and hiding constantly, the guy with the sword.
Mr. Coward Samurai.
Yeah, he was pretty crazy. And I don't think we really talked about it. I think a lot of people in general kind of skipped over the fact that he blocked Geto's ultimate attack like nothing. Remember when Geto did Uzumaki, unleashing all the curses at the same time, his ultimate attack? He blocked it.
Oh, yeah?
That's why Geto left, because he used his ultimate attack and the guy blocked it.
Oh,
Like,
how
totally
did
missed that.
I remember seeing him do something super impressive, but I couldn't remember what it was.
He used a thing that me was always trying to use with a simple domain.
Oh.
But he used the big version, and he destroyed the attack.
Whoa.
Then Geto did the transfiguration and left.
Okay.
Because Geto was trying to kill everybody in that shot.
Right.
Dang.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until I read the comments. I'm like, wait a second. He's actually busted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's also against Yuji. He wants Yuji dead.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on there.
To say the least.
This weekend, though, we drove out to see the eclipse up in Vermont.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
You've never seen thousands of people all heading the same direction. Just say we saw like 5 people pull over to pee on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Oh my
they weren't
gosh.
doing it correctly.
They were doing it incorrectly.
Yes, you're supposed to not be seen
Yeah.
using the bathroom on the side
Like,
of the road.
there was a woman, like, I kid you not, her entire body was underneath the door. Like, the door, imagine the doors are here, and there's her butt. Like, lady.
You can open the doors on both sides of you. So
Yeah.
that it's like a blocking because you're
It's
off
like
the
a
side
stall,
of the road, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So no one should see you except if you show yourself, which she did.
Yeah.
I felt bad for her. I was like, oh man.
She didn't realize because
No.
the problem was at that point in the road, there's like a hill that goes
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
And she did the thing, but she sat down on the hill. So you're underneath the car.
Yeah.
The doors.
Yeah.
But yeah, we put a picture of the eclipse up on the community tab.
Yeah.
Made a little joke about that, so people responded.
Yeah.
The one guy said, sorry, that was me.
I like somebody else's comment was like, what did they say? Earth reset or shutdown commenced? Something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
Earth shut down 2024.
2024.
Apparently, there's also supposed to be some other celestial event where there's going to be a nova in our galaxy.
Cool.
Yeah, so like there's a white dwarf and a red dwarf next to each other, and sometimes this red dwarf it gets too hot, so it starts ejecting energy, and then the white dwarf like starts sucking it into its orbit and collects it, so it causes a nova.
Oh, when's that supposed to be?
No clue. It's supposed to be this year though.
I did see a short from this. There's this guy, you guys may have seen him. I never catch his name, but I watch his short every time I see it. He does like cooking, but he just talks about some weird random story as he cooks the food. And he's talking about how I heard about it, like in 2 weeks there's going to be another celestial event, and I'm starting to think that these are all scams. It's funny because like they were talking about this once in a lifetime eclipse, and now another once in a lifetime thing's happening. Big celestials out to get you. It's really funny. He just completely
I know who you're talking
monotone.
about. I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name either. I also just randomly bump into him occasionally because his commentary is always random.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think the algorithm doesn't know what to do with him.
That sounds funny.
Yeah, he talks about anything.
Yeah.
But he cooks something nice every time.
Yeah, because amazing.
And also, for the shows that we are watching, 86, that's coming up on us ending relatively soon. Is it? What episode are we on?
18.
No, 86 has quite a few.
Yes.
We're going to 20 something with that.
What episode are we on?
We're at
19?
18.
And then
18.
we're going to skip 18.5 and then 19.
Okay, so we've got a decent amount to go. But there is so much content that 86 leaves out based on the comments. Because the comments just talk about the light novels and stuff that apparently this is like directly from some of the light novels. And there's so much extra information that informs on what we're going to be seeing and doing. Like, for instance, the whole Fido thing. That's just hinting towards something that's never really resolved, and if you want more, you can read about it in the books.
Oh.
But they may or may not ever bring it up.
Oh.
How Uncle, what did he go off to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone was saying that they'd never bring it up, but Uncle called like a military meeting and killed everybody to buy Lena time to bring in the 86.
Or is it heavily implied that that's what
heavily
happened?
implied?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Wow. Wow. After you told us that, I was like, Uncle Jerome for president. You know, he's great. Because before I was like, I kind of dislike him because he's like, just give up
give up,
Lena.
yeah.
Lena. But now he's like, I still don't believe in you, but here we go. I'm
gonna do my best.
Give her a chance.
Yes.
I honestly, I didn't dislike him. I disliked him earlier until that moment when that conversation with Elena, because I saw he's walking up with a gun, he's gonna do something.
Same.
But the problem that I had with him is like I did not understand his rhetoric. I don't understand his conversation, like the things he said versus what he looks like he's going to do. It didn't compute in my head, and I guess I just wasn't following the subtitles well enough. So it was hard for me to wrap my brain around what is possibly his mentality. You know, we can guess, but I want to be precise. I want him to tell me with his own words.
Yeah. I mean, I never really had a huge problem with him because I kind of always saw him as like he's a cog in the machine that's trying his best to keep his own alive. Because now, especially that we know that he's not related to Lena.
Right, I was gonna say.
He's just been sticking his neck out for this friend's daughter because he feels bad about what happened to that situation. But especially earlier on in the season, there were a lot of people who were telling off Lena, especially like her friend Annette, who were saying like, you do these things that are safe within the confines of making sure that you don't ever actually get in trouble, so you feel better about yourself. And I kind of agreed with that.
Yeah.
So then when Lena finally did start doing things that put herself in danger, and then the whole demotion thing happened, we didn't really see Uncle for a long time, so I didn't really have time to form an opinion on him again. But looking back, he tried to help her as best as he could.
Yeah.
But of course he's still complicit in a lot of things that happened.
Yeah.
But it truly was a rigged game. If the Legion didn't break into the city, none of what Lena was planning would have worked. She needed an opportunity of an apocalypse to be able to get a chance to wrest control of the situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, he was wrong, of course, like morally, but he was also very right in that if he tried anything, more people just suffered. Like his people would have died. People who were disagree with how the 86 are treated would have died, and now the 86 are going to be treated worse off. But now you're dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And even at the end there, you see there's like the 86 that came into the city to protect the city. They painted signs like "Go away. We don't need your help. We want to die by ourselves."
Yeah, that's wild.
Like crazy.
Yeah,
The
looking
prejudice
back,
runs deep.
yeah, looking back on Jerome and like what he was saying to Lena, like every single time he was like, "Stop it," you can kind of see where he's coming from because he does explaining himself a little bit. He kind of goes at it from the perspective of like, you're not wrong. What you're saying is ideal, but that's all it is. You're just you're still just a child when you're talking about it this way. You don't know enough to actually change anything about this, which is what he's been saying the whole time.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just a child. It's just childish to him for her to go about it this way. Yeah. And it's like, you didn't say anything to anybody else other than me because you know that.
Yeah.
That is something I did notice. Like throughout the show, she only ever argued or complained to Annette and him. No one else. Like I think the only other time she kind of tried to talk about it is like when she did that
in the school
talk in
thing.
front of the class. Yeah, but like we said, it was just because she's trying to keep herself safe, I guess.
And even then, apparently there were like a boundary of just don't defend the 86 that she kind of pushed towards the end. But apparently it's a known thing where you can go so far but not too far, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if Uncle Jerome was like her when he was younger and got disillusioned as he got higher in the ranks and he kind of became the way he is, because maybe that's why he kind of gives her so much leeway, because he's like, she just needs to learn, and I just need to let her experience it and be heartbroken and figure it out herself.
Well, we know from how Lena's father was. He was very sympathetic to the 86. So Jerome would have seen him trying his best all the time, and he ended up dead.
Yeah, that's what disillusioned him.
Yeah, it's like this guy was way more powerful than Lena. He was very helpful in the military, and they still got him.
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to do? You know, so just trying to keep the daughter alive.
He was he did basically at one point say like he was so deep in his ideals that he couldn't see the reality of the fact that 86 are not the only people who die on the battlefield. Why are you going to the front lines type thing?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and isn't it like implied that they may have like friendly fired him?
Oh,
I thought that was just that was our theory. I don't remember
okay.
seeing anything about
I don't remember
anything
either.
that confirms that, but
Yeah, I only need like 2 weeks to go by before theory and what happened blends for me.
Yeah.
same.
But,
That's why I'm like always shocked when we go back to a show and you guys are like spitting off like all these. And remember when this happened and this happened and this happened. Like, no, I don't.
Sometimes it's just a conversation,
Yeah.
and you'll spur memories with what you're saying, and I remember, oh yeah, that happened, and then
Yeah.
everything falls back into place,
Yes.
you know.
And then I'm back in the seat where I was watching the thing, and I'm seeing it again. That's usually what happens. I'm re-experiencing it through the conversation.
I do kind of actually want to check out the light novels eventually, not read, but like skim through them, just get like little bits of information, because I feel like there's probably so many side things that we would have been able to learn about, like things like Shin's in the new country, that red-haired guy who doesn't like him very much. Marcel. I can see easily that there's a couple chapters with him butting heads with Shin, and maybe there's a couple of scenes that kind of lead to why he's treating him this way, why everyone kind of immediately treats him like boogeyman. Maybe it's a little bit more in there about that. And Lena's mom, for instance, like they never really
just
go back to her
one
at
scene
all.
with her.
Yeah, one scene at them eating very
Right.
quietly at
Yeah.
a dinner, at a table, not really looking at each other at all.
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
see that Lena just like fully had
Resigned from each other.
yeah, she's just like fully headstrong into her job, not really caring about family.
Strong
right now.
Jan, she's just dead because her house is blown up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
Although they were, well, I was gonna say that since they're in the first district, maybe they have a bunker, but Legion is Legion.
Then again, I was gonna say then again, that whole rocket that they had hidden underground, the Legion never got. But then again, it was really low. So maybe if they did have a bunker, if it was low enough, they might have been able to survive. The only thing, like, I keep wanting to hope that Lena didn't die, but they were face to face with the Legion thing.
They were.
But then again, they didn't show us. They didn't show the end.
What
so nobody, no belief.
What if it'd be so wild that like everybody else dies, but Annette is the only one who gets to escape, and then Annette has to go to like what is it, the Federacy, and then they find out what happened from Annette.
Oh wow,
That'd be wild.
that'd be sad.
I'd hate
it.
I hate that.
I'd hate it. I'd rather see Lena like dragging herself across the field, like barely alive.
Wow.
Lena only.
Lena only.
No one else.
Annette can die.
Maybe Cyclops. Cyclops can come.
Cyclops can come.
So we've been talking about these shows. I want to know, have you been watching anything recently? Any manhwa? Any manga?
I haven't been watching any anime. Manhwa. I've been watching a manhwa called. I gotta remember. The Villainess Lives Twice. It's very interesting because I think I was telling you guys on the road trip. Like all of the manhwa isekais I've been watching have villainous in the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this one, it's like she was the villainess in her first life. She basically. Her mother was like kind of psychologically abusive and was like, you only live for your brother. The mother is the mistress of the emperor, so the main character's brother is
Next in line.
one of the candidates for the throne.
Okay, makes sense.
So the mother is like, you live for your brother. Like the little girl is super smart, so the mother makes her like think and like
Figure things out.
move
Strategize.
chess pieces of people to get the brother to be the actual heir to the throne, the crown prince, because the emperor does have 2 other crown prince candidates. Yeah. So in her first life, she ends up doing all the terrible things behind the scenes to get her brother to the throne. Her brother betrays her, basically frames her for some.
To get rid of her?
Yeah. I don't remember what he framed her for, but he gets rid of her and is like the punishment will be to like cut off her arms and cut out her tongue. Basically, he wants her to not be able to speak anything.
Oh, so basically keep the secret because he doesn't trust her.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but she ends up dying in her first life after like casting some like spell to make her go back in time or remember her memories back in time or something else. She did some sort of spell. So she lives again.
Same world.
Same world, yes. She gets lateral isekai back to the same world, but earlier in the timeline. So now this time, because she made friends with in her first life, the Saintess, she was super nice. She felt really bad for like
what she was doing.
Because she also used the Saintess to force the Saintess to marry her brother to give her brother more legitimacy to the throne. And the Saintess was a very unhappy marriage, obviously, and she ends up dying.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the name of this, by the way?
The Villainess Lives Twice.
Okay.
So she wants to correct everything, and you know the country was not exactly thriving under her brother's tutelage
Right.
and all that. So she decides, okay, I'm gonna make this other guy one of the other people who never really fought for the throne. He's one of the better people to be emperor because he's actually good, you know. And she's gonna make sure the Saintess lives happily and everything. So she's trying to correct her mistakes, but at the same time, you can kind of see like her all the bad things she does previously. She's constantly feels like she doesn't really deserve to
It
be
haunts her.
happy or anything like that. And that's kind of where we're at right now. She finally, her and her love interest have finally like been like, okay, we do like each other. Yeah. So I'm enjoying that right now because we're still trying to fight for the throne as well, which I like. For a lot of isekais, sometimes just falling in love feels like the main thing.
The whole point.
Yeah, but it's more of a secondary thing in this because we're still like trying to fight for a country, you know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
an empire.
Because I was gonna say the love interest thing. We just looked at the cover, and this style of art to me always feels very shallow. I don't know why. It's pretty, but I don't read the webcomics or anything, so I don't know why I think this.
Yeah.
But I look at it and like it looks so shallow. So it makes me wonder if it's gonna be like they're gonna be overbearing with any love interest that's happening. You know?
No, it's actually been really like realistic in that like the since they both like each other, they're not usually in isekais or manhwas in general. They'll be like, we both like each other, but we're gonna make sure that the other person doesn't know, no matter what. The guy is just like he's just being affectionate all the time.
Oh, that's sweet.
Making sure like she actually knows that he likes her.
I really do feel what you're saying though with the cover because there's a lot of times when in manga or manhwa in general. I feel it more in manhwa where there are genres and you want a certain thing. It's very upfront about what this is, so you just come here to get more of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times they don't deviate too much from the central, I guess, theme of the genre. But I mean, what you described about going back in time in the same life, I saw. Speaking of, I was talking about Trash Taste recently. I got recommended a video from I know the name right. The Garnt guy. He put up a video talking about how age regression is going to be like the new better version of isekai.
Yeah.
Whereas take this person from the same universe but go back in time to fix the mistakes or make things differently.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, but it's just the same thing about as an isekai, just a bit more boring.
More like,
But the examples I've been seeing, they do. I think they're going to fall into the trap of making things just unbelievably, unrealistically horrible for the main character, and then cruise sailing all the way through.
That I have seen some of those.
I think those are going to become the more popular types, but I have noticed that there's a lot more age regression kind of tropes that are shooting out of the woodwork because isekai is just way too overmilked.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Way too much.
We just saw advertisement for one. Hey, I don't know the quality of this one. It could be good, but I saw like reincarnated and aristocrats using my appraisal skill. It's just like, what are you on about?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I do like the isekai genre. A lot of people don't like the isekai genre. I kind of really like it. I enjoy it.
I like the idea of being isekai. It's a fun idea.
Very fun idea.
I prefer the isekai manhwas to isekai animes. For some reason, the manhwas pull it off way better, much more tolerable and less like. For in the animes, it seems like almost it's just a lot more vapid for some reason. I don't know why. Like there feels like there's no depth to the actual world. Like the whole world exists for this one person.
Yes.
That tends to be how it comes off in the anime, whereas in the manhwa, it's a lot. It still kind of it moves towards that, but it doesn't feel like that. Other people feel like they have their own lives.
Other things are
and stuff
going on. Like we saw that especially like in Soul Leveling. It's not an isekai or anything, but there's other moving pieces. We had the people going to Jeju Island, right? We saw so many characters who never met the main character.
Yeah.
Like they're just doing their own thing the whole time, and I like that. Like, the world is living, it's breathing. Other things are going on. There are 7 S classes in the world. They all have their own agendas.
Yeah.
Some of them have traumas. We saw the guy have nightmares. We saw the one guy drinking in the bar alone. There's so much going on. It makes you want to learn about the world, but also learn how our main character inevitably is going to wreck shop. But how will he wreck shop?
Yeah.
And how will these characters react to it? Because a lot of the time, isekais put this person in the world that's so overpowered
Yeah.
that they breeze through everything, and it gets to the point where I don't care about how they I don't know, beat up the guy who bullied him for
Yeah.
like 2 seconds. 'Cause, okay, we knew he was gonna get bodied.
Yeah.
But we don't even know this guy.
Yeah.
We're new to this world, right?
Yeah.
Why should I care
Yeah.
about you bodying this guy?
Yeah.
But things like ReZero. ReZero is an isekai, but the main character is powerless. But it's one of the best because when Zoro figures out how to do things correctly, it feels so cathartic.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
finally goes through and he fixes the errors. And half the time, he doesn't even hurt the person who bullied him. Usually, he befriends them.
Yeah.
Think about it. Half of his friends tried to kill him or bullied him.
Yeah. It's true.
Half
All
of
of
his
them.
friends killed him.
All of them have
All of
killed
them.
him.
All of them.
I just
Yeah.
realized.
Yes,
All of them.
Literally all of them. There is not one person there who has not taken his life at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you move past that, but that's a whole other kettle of fish, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I really appreciate that kind of thing, and I think isekais just a lot of the authors took the easy route of people like it when you go into a new world and suddenly all your dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
People do like that, right?
Yeah.
But substance is what made the isekai genre pop off.
Mm-hmm.
The rare ones that did it right. That's why it got popular. And it is easy. It is fun to just watch one that turn off your brain, just watch it and go, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like the thing where I think in manhwas, a lot of the time people get revenge and they go way too far.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in mangas with isekais, they get power and they go way too far.
Yeah.
They don't need to be that powerful in order to have a good story.
Yeah.
Even things like Overlord, where main character is unbelievably OP, he still thinks about everything he does, and I think that's one of the more enjoyable parts of that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it makes it easier to write when the main character is OP because then it doesn't matter how crazy your bad guy is.
Yeah.
Your good guy is still going to win. You
Yeah.
know? If you are going to have to think about it, then you have to think, oh, if this bad guy has this ability, it's gonna be counter to your good guy, your protagonist is gonna struggle. Now I gotta think about how he's gonna overcome this. Thinking, you know. I think someone has said thinking is like the hardest work a lot of people don't do. So if they don't have to do it, they're not gonna do it.
Something that I'm looking forward to, I don't know if it necessarily has to do with isekai or anything, I want more mangas to do the thing where the main character isn't necessarily the paragon of good, but he's not necessarily bad either. I want more things where it's like,
He's just him. He's not
just
like
him.
he's not a justice warrior or anything.
and the show isn't pushing it in your face that he's right. Something like Death Note, even, where you've got the protagonist who, Light was just a bad guy, but you've got lots of characters who all have their own motivations, and you can understand where they're all coming from, and it's interesting. But you don't know who's going to win, and you don't know who you want to win. I want more stuff like that. I realize that's a tall order because that's really hard to write.
It is hard
Yeah.
to write.
I feel like people have tried, and there's a reason we haven't heard about it. But yeah, I feel like that kind of stuff
Yeah.
has fallen off in being made, and I'm sure they're out there, but I feel like there's way less of them these days because people realize, why are you expending all this effort?
You know what it sounds like you want?
What's that?
An artist.
No.
Because artists are the ones who take the risk.
Yeah.
The people who do all of the tried and true are the ones just after the tried and true money.
Yeah.
So it takes an artist, an innovator, to try, but it just has two sides to the sword. They try it and they're like, I'm done with that now.
Yeah.
But they're the ones who will go out and try it, and it's better to have that because they'll try it. Someone will be like, oh, that worked. Let me do it now because that worked. So they're the pioneers with the arrows in their back.
Listen. I can love an artist who's a pioneer. I don't mind an artist who tries new things. My only issue is when they hit gold and they stop digging because they want to try something new.
Because they want to find emeralds instead.
Yeah. Wonderful. That's good. That's good. I hate that.
Yeah.
Just at least finish it.
Yeah.
See it through.
Yeah.
If there's especially one that pops off and it's really popular and everyone's like, hey, can we get a part 2? Just give the part 2.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Just do the part 2.
Yeah.
There's also the possibility that part 2 just isn't as good.
Isn't
We
as
see that
good.
happen a lot.
A lot. So take that challenge as your artistic challenge, as your artistic muse. How am I going to top my first beauty?
I think like what I want to see from manhwa, because you were talking about how you want to see a character who is not necessarily a justice warrior. I think what I want to see is the Hunter x Hunter. The main characters are not necessarily the strongest. That's the kind of thing that I am waiting for, because usually in any isekai or manhwa,
Main character's always strong.
Yeah, they're either the strongest in the room, or they see somebody else about to come into the room, so they do all these different calculations and stuff to get themselves up before the other person comes into the room, and now they're like, okay, now we're eye level, you know what I mean?
I agree.
But I want to see in Hunter x Hunter, where our main characters are not the strongest. They're strong, but they're not the strongest, but we never feel the need to be the strongest. You know, we just have to beat whatever's in front of us.
Yes. I'd love to see more of that. I think a show that did that recently is Jujutsu Kaisen again.
Yeah.
Yuji is not the strongest by far. In fact, if they were to fight, Yuta should probably kill him pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yuta was considered next to Gojo,
Yeah, that's true.
which I didn't figure out how crazy powerful Yuta is until people were talking about how the tiers are, and like Yuta's like up here and Yuji's down here. Like Gojo's up in the stratosphere, but Yuta's up there.
Yeah.
And like a better version of what do you call it? Geto, where Geto gets all the powers. He just can copy anything. That's crazy.
I think the thing that I don't know, I've imagined where the main character that starts out weak,
Yeah.
even if they start out weak, they always are going to eventually be the strongest. Like it's never, there's never an option of not being number one.
Because for some reason, some inevitable world-ending threat will come to you specifically.
Yes, in your neighborhood.
Yes.
So maybe what you want to enjoy more is the idea of strong people. There always is someone stronger than the main character. Like when I think of Hunter x Hunter, our two main boys, they never became the strongest.
No.
They still had Illumi, who was constantly there. Hisoka was constantly there.
And even how they defeated the king wasn't really, it
wasn't them.
It wasn't them.
They
Yes.
cheated.
Yeah. So it's like it makes it feel more real.
Yeah.
Like maybe they can always strive to be the strongest, but they'll probably never reach it. Just because of the existence of everything else.
They're not striving to be the strongest. They're striving to be the strong.
They want to be among the strong.
Among the strong, yes.
Yeah, and even if the end result is them kind of like maybe eventually Yuji will become the strongest in the show or whatever, but by that point we had like 5-7 seasons of climbing, and there's other characters out there, there's mysteries out there. I like that world building instead of just an isekai where you know from the very beginning this guy is broken and he'll get everything he wants. And sometimes I like that, sometimes like an action movie.
Yeah, same.
But I just feel like there's been so many recently that we want more Yujis.
Yeah.
I think that's good for now. So guys, thank you guys very much for being here with us this week. Guys, if you liked your time here, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Remember, Patreon down below allows you to see the next episode of this a whole week early, participate in polls like the ones for the movies, or see the movie that's up on Patreon right now. Right now, it is Your Name. It's going to be up there for a few more weeks, and eventually we'll see the other one. So thank you very much. See you in the city. Goodbye.
Bye.